Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the trading week, beginning today at November 5th and going all the way till Friday, November 10th. This is my analysis video for this week. And before we begin, we'll just pray. God, we just thank you again for another trading week, another opportunity to trade and to learn and to make profits. I pray for everyone watching this video. Pray a special blessing on each one. May we all be successful. May we all learn, and may we all get an extra dose of patience this week. We thank you and we bless you. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys. So in this video, we're going to be talking about what I'm expecting for next week based on what happened last week, okay? As you will see, I have drawn my support and my resistance lines already. But I'm sorry, this was the chart from last week. But the chart for this week is actually here. I've drawn my support and my resistance lines already. And also I have put in some key levels that I'm watching, which I won't really go into. These are just my personal levels. You guys can use the information, fine tune it as much as possible. This is just general information to let you know what I'm seeing, what I'm expecting, and how I will be trading for this week. So as we saw last week, price actually continued from the buy, which it started from the previous Thursday, okay? And it continued for the entire week. It was, it actually broke some record for this year. I think it was the biggest move since last October. Don't quote me on it, but it was a big move. From where it started to where it ended on Friday was literally over 10,000 pips. All right, so it was a really good week for the buyers. Those people who tried to go against the trend, excuse me, paid dearly because this week was not a bearish week at all. It was just strictly bullish all of last week, and it played out in the markets. And based on the analysis that I did last week, I did mention that I'm expecting the market to buy until the daily actually makes a high. Okay, and the reason for that is that the daily is coming from one of those extreme points, which is actually a low or a lower low. In this case, it's a lower low. So I'm expecting the day to actually buy until it registers a high. Okay, so what am I expecting for this week? Well, I'm expecting more of the same. I'm expecting more buying in the market because the daily has not completed its high as yet. Okay, now here's the key thing, and I want to stress this, from the get-go. Whenever I say the market is going to buy, it doesn't mean that the market is going to start buying from where it is, okay? Because I've also said to you guys in my videos, in previous videos, and also in some of my tutorial videos, price does not buy from a high, okay? Price cannot buy from a high, okay? Price has to buy from a low point to a high point. Price cannot sell from a low point. Price has to sell from a high point, okay? Now, it may be a little bit confusing, and like I said, that comes with practice, okay? You may see that this price here on this bigger time frame, this 4 hour, is at a high, and then the market opens and then it continues pushing up. And you may say, well, that doesn't line up with your theory. Yes, it does. Why? Because you need to actually pay attention to your smaller time frames. Remember I said to you, I don't do analysis on my small time frames. I use them primarily for entry purposes once I get the trend and the tone for my bigger time frame. So if you look back at last week, for example, this price, once it broke this point right here, I'll just put a line. Once it broke this point here, okay, a high was registered on the 4 hour. And I'll just do a replay just to show you, okay? So we're starting from here. Price is at a lower high, okay? Price is going up. Price is going up. All right. However, once it breaks this line, it registers a high. Okay. Okay, see, this candle broke this line. The wick pushed through, so it broke this line. Okay, this is now at a high. Now, my theory says price cannot buy from a high. Now, remember, everything you still have to analyze intelligently. Now, the 4 hour is sitting at a high. And it's true, the price will not buy from a high. However, remember my bias says this market is not going to stop buying until the daily makes a high. Now, the day is sitting at a lower high, so the move is not over as yet. The 4 hour is actually sitting at a high, okay? And you're saying, oh, but this is a high. Why is it not selling? Here's the key. You have to pay attention to your smaller time frame. So, for example, if I go on my 1 hour, I see my 1 hour also at a higher high. If I look at my half hour, I see my half hour is also at a higher high. But here's the key that you're looking for on your smaller time frames, you know, primarily your half hour and your 1 hour. You'll notice that the trend on the smaller time frame is higher low, higher high. So it keeps making higher lows. So if I take a trend line from here, and I mark all my lows, you see that my lows are falling higher. So the market is making higher lows, higher highs. What that means is that my entries now are going to need to be on my low points to my higher points for the buys. Okay, so although my 4 hour, all right, let me show you again. Although my 4 hour does say a high, okay, and I can't buy from a high, but I know the move is not over because it still has not registered a high on my daily time frame, okay? I can't enter a trade from here on my 4 hour. If I do, I will get retracement, okay? So I have to drop down to my smaller time frames to actually get an entry. Remember, the concept is until the big time frame completes its move, the smaller time frame is going to be making higher lows, higher highs until that is over. So looking again at my half hour, all right? So look at possibilities for entries. I could have gotten in here. If I got in on any one of my lows, I mean, let's use the highlighter and mark them. So here's one low. Okay, here's one low right here. Here's another low right here. Here's another low right here. Okay. Any one of these lows that I got in on, price has not come back to test any one of these lows. Price just kept going. So if I got in here at this line, notice price has not come back down here to this line. If I got in here at this low right here, price did not come back and touch this line. It kept going. All right, let me take that line. So let me move this line. If I got in here at this low, price has not come back down to touch this low. All right, so that is the concept when I say to you that the market cannot buy from a high point, it has to sell from a high point. However, you can't enter a sell in the market if the move on the bigger time frame has not ended. And that is what caused a lot of people last week to actually blow their accounts, okay? Because they were anticipating a sell that was not ready as yet. The market was not ready to sell. It still is not ready to sell because the move has not been finished, okay? So if you look at your 4 hour, a lot of people may have saw this, seen this, and said, okay, fine, yeah, the market is at a high. Let me jump in for a sell. Well, okay, let's look at it play out. So let's say you saw the market at a high here and you said, okay, fine, I'm going to go in because the market is at a high without checking your other time frames. That's a big mistake because if you went on your daily time frame, you'd have seen that the high is not finished. Okay. So, which means if I take a buy from here, the price is going to continue going up because the price is going to continue going until a high is completed. All right. So here we go. So let's look at the 1 hour. Okay, price was here at a higher high. Look at what the price did. Just pay attention. Okay, it's at the higher high. Remember, price cannot buy from a high. It has to retrace first before it continues going. So look at what the price did. Price did this, kept pushing. Okay. Look, see, it came down, it made a higher low. Okay, it did make a higher low before it continued going up. The reason why this higher low fell higher than where we saw it here is because the market is in trend. It's making higher lows, higher highs. When the market is in trend, that's not the time to go against the trend. That is the time when you wait for the market to give you the signal to get in so that you can continue the move. So here it is, the higher low. Look at what price did once it made that higher low. It just kept going. Just kept going until the end of the week. Okay, so you get in on your higher low points. See all these low points that I marked on my half hour? All these low points, price has not come back to touch any one of these. Why? The market is making higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Okay, so going back to this week, what am I looking for? All right, so let me get rid of all of these lines on my chart. I like to keep a clean chart, so we'll get rid of all of these markings. So what am I looking for this week? Because price finished at a high point, okay? I am looking for that retracement before I go back into the trade. I'm not taking a sell. I've been saying that for the past week or 2 weeks. I'm not taking a sell because the move is not over. So what I'm doing is I'm sitting and I'm waiting for those low points to come on before I actually continue for the buy. All right, so last week, I took one trade, and that one trade was enough to double my account for the week. Now, I know I saw a question, well, how are you able to double your account if the market only moved by X amount of risk? Well, I have a leveraged account. I use a leveraged account for my broker, okay? So I'm able to increase my lot size based on my leverage. I have my formulas for doing that, which I will not share with you because those are my formulas and I'm not telling anybody what to do with their accounts. I don't play with people's money. That's all on you. You have to make that decision for yourself. But the strategy that I use, I double my account. Each time the market moves 2,500 pips, I double my account. All right. So based on your broker, based on your trading strategy, based on your your appetite for risk, you can make those determinants on your own. Like I say, each trade that I take, I risk 30% of my account. Okay. I'm not telling anybody to do that. That's just my style, my strategy. It works for me and everything. If I lose money, it's all on me. It's not based on somebody else. I don't trade for people. I don't ask anybody to trade for me. It's all on me. Okay. So what are we looking for this week? What am I looking for this week? Excuse me. Well, because the price finished here, and I know that the move has not finished on the daily because the high has not been completed, okay? I am looking for a retracement before I get back into the market. So I'm looking at my small time frames and I'm basically taking my lows to my highs, my lows to my highs, okay? So again, guys, the trend is not over. Even if you take a bad entry and you're going with the trend will always rescue you. As they say in trading, the trend is your friend. The trend will always rescue you if you're going with the trend. So let's say, for example, I know that the market is going up to make a high on my day. Okay. It has not completed the high on the day. However, let's say I jumped into the market at this high point right here. Okay, let's look at what happened. So let's say I took a trade here. All right, I took that trade there because let's say I looked at my bigger time frame, and that's why I say to you, you must always start with your analysis from your bigger time frames coming down, not your smaller time frames going up. So I looked at my bigger time frame. Let's do the replay tool. So we're starting from here, okay? So let's say I looked at my daily time frame and I noticed that my daily time frame has not even registered a high yet. So I know that this move is still good because why? The move is going to be finished when the day makes a high. Okay, so I look at my day and I see that. Okay, and I come down to my entry time frame, all right, and the price is at a high. And I'm like, okay, fine. You know, I don't want to wait. I'm going to enter this trade right here. Now look at what happened. All right, this is where I entered for the buy. Okay, based on the fact that the day has not finished its move, but I entered here still. Price did this. Price retraced. Hard retracement. Okay, price retraced. Like I said, price always buys from a low point. Okay, so the price did retrace. And that's why I keep saying to you guys, when you see the move going up and you know the move is not finished, you have to make sure that your entry time frame is sitting at a low or some sort of low for you to take that buy. This is what price did. All right, came, it did all of that, and then started buying. You're still in the red because you came in right here. Okay, excuse me. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours of being in the red. Okay, price did that. You're still in the red. One whole day and you're in the red. And you're like, what the hell is going on? Okay, you're finally in the blue for a little bit, barely in the blue. Look at how many hours since, because you did not take the right entry. So you got in on that line. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 20, 20, almost 30 hours for you to barely get in to profit, right? But look at what the price did. Price did that and it kept going, and it kept going, and it kept going, and it kept going until the week was over and you ended in profit. So although you took a bad entry because you're going with the trend based on what was seen on the bigger time frame, price will come back and get you. It will take you back in profit because remember, your ultimate destination based on your bigger time frame is going to be that high point. Okay, so you wasted 36 hours. Okay, because had you waited, okay, had you waited on that move to come here, okay, look at the difference that that would have made. So you waited 36 hours to finally break into the blue, and then you broke back into the red again before you finally broke out and continued going up. Had you waited when you saw the price here at that high, had you waited for that higher low, and let's say you came in here, look at the difference. All those 36 hours that you waited, you would have been in the blue. All those 30, even with the retracement, you'd have still been in the blue because you came in on this blue line. So you'd have gotten more profit. You'd have spent more time in profit, less stress, and finally gotten your ultimate tier profit right there. So let's look at the difference in pips. So if you took your entry from here, it's still a good trade. Don't get me wrong. It's still a good trade. However, you want to be able to trade the market the correct way and the smart way so it reduces your stress levels. So you go from here to, let's say, where the market closed, that's 7,000 pips. All right. Very nice trade. You have double your account more than twice. All right. Almost 3 times. If you're using my strategy, of course. All right. Now, let's say you came in from here. So that's 7,100 pips. All right. Same take profit, but entering at the right place where the market was sitting at a low. Coming all the way to where it ended, you'd have gotten 8,800 pips. So you'd have actually been able to double to double your account 3 times over. Okay, 3 times over. That's the difference with waiting on correct entry. Can't stress enough, guys. You cannot sell from a low and you cannot buy from a high. You have to wait for that retracement to get into the market if you want to maximize your pips. Now, if your trading strategies, listen, I know it's going to go here anyway, and my account can handle it, and you just want to enter your trades and leave it. I'm not telling you not to do that. I'm not. I won't tell you how to trade, whatever works for you. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing based on maximizing the amount of pips, okay, to go into the trade. All right. So let me get rid of all these extra lines on my thing so that, yeah, so I can peel my chart up and we can move along. But that's basically it for what I'm seeing for the analysis this week. I mean, there's literally nothing, nothing to it really. That's all I'm seeing for this week. There's more continuation of the buys. However, I'm not looking to enter a trade from here. The last thing I want to say is a number of videos you guys have heard me say it, and I will repeat it today. The NASDAQ 100 usually likes to take Monday and Tuesday to kind of stretch its legs, create its ranges, its lower and its upper range, and then coming into Wednesday towards the end of the week, that's when it usually breaks for the major move. Okay, I'm not saying that it happens all the time, but usually that's a tendency that I see towards high. Well, let's look at last week, for example. Well, Monday, Tuesday, market did a lot of consolidation among this level. Like I said, if you took the trade right here, it took 36 hours before it actually started breaking out. So Monday, Tuesday, it took that. By the time you got to Wednesday and it made that final higher low, it just took off. Let's look at the week before. Monday, Tuesday, did that consolidation, made that high, then it took off towards the low side. All right, so that's usually what NASDAQ tends to do. So there's really no rush to really just try and get all the moves that you can get. If you wait for the right setup, NAS gives enough pips that you can more than double your account for the week. Trust me, anything that I tell you on here is stuff that I've done personally and I've seen personally happen on my own accounts. So I'm not telling you something that doesn't exist. I'm not telling you something that I read in a book or heard on some blog. This is something that I've done for myself, so I know it works. All right. So in closing up this video for the week, like I said, I'm looking for more of the same for last week. I'm looking for more buys. However, I am not taking, when the market opens this evening, I'm not taking any trades. There is literally no setup available based on my strategy for me to actually be in a trade right now. I have no business being on the markets today at 6 o'clock. I'm not going in until I get my signals based on my smaller time frames where I get my lows and everything, then I can continue with my buys. Once the move finishes on the daily, I'll repeat myself again. Once the high is completed on the daily, then that's when you're looking at a sell in the market. Until then, the market will continue to retrace and go up. It will consolidate. It may consolidate. And that's a thing that you have to remember, guys. The market sometimes will move like it did last week and give you a lot of pips for the entire week. Then another time, it will just consolidate between the zones and you get frustrated. That is why it is important for you to stick to your plan, stick to your entries, so that once you get a good entry, even when the market consolidates, you are in profit. Even when the market consolidates, you will be in profit because you have taken the correct entry. So, a couple of scenarios that may exist. Market can continue pushing to make that high. I've seen it happen before. Or market can do a hard retracement, come all the way back down before it gives you that higher low or the high that you're waiting on before it continues buying again. Okay, it can do a medium retracement where it comes down and does a lot of consolidation within a zone before it takes off to complete that high. But one thing is for sure, the market is not going to be fully committed to a sell until the high is completed on your daily time frame. All right, so that is my analysis for the week. That is what I'm looking for. I am still in a buy bias. I'm still going towards the bulls. However, The bears need to take over for a bit to create those setups in order for me to finish my bullish move so that I can once again become bearish. So thank you again, guys, for watching. And God, thank you again for this opportunity for us to trade and to analyze and to discuss the charts. I pray success over everyone watching this video this week. May we have a tremendous week. May we be successful. May we continue to learn. And may we always be willing to share our information with others so that they too can improve and do well with this trading experience. Thank you again. We love you in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, guys, have a good week, and I will see you soon.